Good morning. Morning, everyone. How are you? Tanja here. Welcome to Tea with Tanja Lee. We do this every Monday and every Friday, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I provide live leading life and business coaching right here in your handset, whether you're on Instagram or whether you are on Facebook. Good morning, Luke. Good morning, everyone tuning in. I hope that you are well. If I look like I'm squinting a little bit today, it's because I am. Let's shuffle my seat in. I have something going on with this eye, but nothing is going to stop me from being of service and a contribution to you. So, how are you? Type in one word to describe how you are feeling today. I'm feeling actually really, really good and excited about the future. It's a new financial year. It's a great new start to create opportunities. Yes, there are some additional challenges. Corona Loco is still alive and kicking, but nothing can stop the human spirit. So once again, in Victoria, we are in a lockdown for another 6 weeks. Please, if you're watching this and you're in Victoria, good morning, everyone. You're providing the gold. Thank you, Luke. If you're watching this in Victoria, please, please, please know that the first thing that you can do to navigate this, again, unforeseen change and challenge is to accept what is. A lot of people are experiencing high levels of stress right now, and I have to tell you that one of the key catalysts for stress, anxiety, worry, and concern is when we resist what is. Because when we resist what is, we create tension, we create conflict. And one of the greatest ways to experience peace and centeredness, which elevates our state, is to accept what is. We don't have to like it, but if we accept it, it makes a real difference. Good morning to you, Diane from New Zealand. So today is Q&A Friday, and this is where I come on here live, cheers, to provide an A to your Q. Where are you stuck? Where are you oscillating? Where are you procrastinating? Where are you avoiding? What is this? How is this impacting you and potentially others? I'm so sorry, my eyes really sore. So I want to hear. So Luke's refreshed. Awesome. G'day, Melissa. So I'm here live, ready to rock and roll. What I will say is, many people that have jumped on here, whether you join in on our Intentional Monday session or whether you join here on our Q&A Friday session, it doesn't matter. But I have to tell you, I don't have to tell you, I'm choosing to tell you, every single person, every single one that has been courageous enough to say, hey, here's where I'm stuck, here's where I have a challenge, here's my issue, here's my concern, has had a breakthrough. Every single one. So I want the same for you. Good morning, Christy. Good morning, everyone tuning in. Catherine Finlay. So, fast game's a good game. Cheers. Salute. Here's to getting access to producing breakthroughs in our life. I want to hear, what's your cue? Where are you stuck? How can I help you today? I have no questions pre-written. I have nothing up my sleeve. Just me here with my presence with you. Good morning, Suzanne. Okay, we have a question here. How do I get my belief in my professional self, in my profession self, after being bullied? Okay, great, Diane. You are an avid follower and tune in every week, and I want to be of service to you. So Diane from New Zealand is asking the question: how do I get my belief in my professional self back after being bullied? So once again, my invitation is, if you are watching this, if you're listening to this, please don't go, oh, well, Tanja's coaching Diane in New Zealand, this doesn't relate to me. If you are interested in how you can get your belief in yourself back in any situation, and if you have been bullied, then there's going to be something here for you, okay? Or you know someone that's going through something similar, then please listen up. And of course, as I go through and answer this question, I would love for those of you on Facebook and certainly all of you on Instagram, if you could just write down, what are the key insights, what are the lessons, what are the actions, what are the tools and resources that I'll potentially share that you think, oh God, that's a good one, that's a nugget, let's capture that. I would love your support and help in doing that. All right, great. So Diane from New Zealand has asked the question, how do I gain belief in myself, particularly my professional self, especially after being bullied? So, Diane, you are. Good morning, everyone tuning in. Eek, thank you, she says. Eek. All right, so Diane, first question, my love, because I want to gain your permission. Are you open for coaching? Do you give me permission to coach you, my love? By the way, coaches in the house, please make sure that you, even when you sign up a client for coaching, what's really useful when you're doing a coaching session, especially if you're coaching to shift unconscious self-sabotaging beliefs, always ask permission. All my clients who are contracted to coach with me, even when we're in our fortnightly 1 hour coaching session, if I've got a really great lesson to offer them or an insight to offer them, I will always ask, can I offer you something? Because I want them to be empowered in their progress and I want their subconscious mind open to what I'm about to share. So just a little tip there. All right, Anahata. Anahata, that's a heart chakra. Diane, hey, Diane, question. Do you give me permission to coach you? Absolutely. Are you open to jumping on live on a video? So you and I get to play. Only friends on Instagram will see this. I feel blessed to get your support. You are so welcome, my love. Doesn't matter how you look. It could be crazy hair. You could still be in your PJs. You could be out with chickens. I don't care. I love you and I love chickens. Are you open for live coaching on video? Let me know. It's just going to make it more engaging. It's going to make it quicker. We don't have a delay with texting. Please let me know. Great advice. Ask for permission. Permission. Let me know, Diane. Are you open for coaching on a video? Yes, she says. Awesome. Can we give some jazz hands on Facebook and Instagram for Diane, who's just like, I'm in New Zealand. I've lost my belief in myself professionally and I was bullied. So Tanja, can you hook me up? Can you help me out? So Diane, my love, thank you for your brave heartery and courage. Can you please send me a request here on Instagram asking to join by video? Please, yes, friends. Whoop, whoop, says Kylie. Kylie and the Roys. Jessie and the Pussycats. I thought you'd like that one, Luke. Pam V in the house. Awesome. Oh, Luke cross-pollinating from Instagram. He's got, oh, God, Luke, I like your style. You've gone, I don't want to miss this. I want to see the action. I'm going off Facebook. I'm going to jump on to Instagram so I can see this live. Good choice. Good choice. All right, Diane. So if you look on the bottom of your screen, there will be a button where you can request to join me in video. So we will wait for that. Tay, good morning, Tay. If you've just joined, my friend Diane from New Zealand is about to jump on. Good stuff, Luke. For live coaching, her question is, how do I get belief in myself, especially financially, after being bullied? Oh, God, here she goes. Sent a request. So we've got a few that are sending requests. Rachel's sent a request, so let's go view. And I'm going to go live. Thank you to everyone that's actually asking to join the live. Like, I love that. Maybe we can do a multiple coaching session. All right. Nye, good morning. Jasmine, g'day. We are waiting for Diane. Oh, oh my gosh, this is so beautiful. Finally. So, oh my God, this is great. So I'm getting excited, friends, because Diane has been tuning in to Tea with Tanja Lee for some time, sends me lots of lovely messages, shares herself. We don't actually know each other, but this is the beauty of social media. There are many great and positive things around social media. So Diane has just been around for a while, a great support of this work, and a very beautiful soul, and a great support of me, often sending me a loving message, billowing my dreams to life and encouraging me to continue to do what I do each and every week. Diane, I love you. Thank you for tuning in. And I'm really excited to see your face, your beautiful face, and be of service to you.
Thank you.
Oh my God, I love it.
It's so exciting to see you face to face as well.
You too, beautiful. You too. Now, before we get into your question, right, which I love, and that is, I want, how do I regain belief in myself professionally, especially after being bullied? So this is going to be a great conversation. And if you are on Facebook and you want to see Diane's gorgeous face, then please head over to the Tanja Lee on Instagram. You've got some love coming through in the comments and messages, Diane. Now, first things first, I would love it if you could just take a minute for those that don't understand or have never been educated on the significance of your chin tattoo. Would you mind? Oh, and you've got great ink. Would you mind?
All,
just
not at all.
Because people might be going, "Oh, I'm curious."
Sorry.
You go.
So it's called a mokokowai, and it's basically my ancestry on my face. So it's the middle means who I am. So I'm the eldest, which has significance in Te Ao Māori is what we call it when we talk about the Māori realm. And so the middle bit says that I am the eldest of my line, and then so I'm the eldest moko, which means grandchild, and I'm the eldest child in my line as well.
Wow, yeah.
And the next parts that come out is like hapu, which is your sub-tribe, and then iwi, and then what you do for them. So because I was a psychotherapist, it talks about being of service to others.
Wow,
so
how beautiful.
Yeah.
And can I ask, because I actually don't know, what is the significance of the tattoo on the face? Why the face and why the chin, if you wouldn't mind?
Yeah, no problem. So the face is the first thing that you see of a person, whether, because they could be covered. And so, so that is the, so when it was like when other tribes saw you, they knew where you came from.
Gotcha, okay.
They knew what, I suppose, stature, for want of a better word, you were. So if you were an older sibling, you were seen as, I suppose, more privileged, because quite often you would get the tohunga status if that was in your line. So
what does that mean, tohunga?
My great-great-grandmother was a tohunga, which is like a healer. But it can also mean you could be a carver. There's many jobs that were deemed as for those who had the right whakapapa or genealogy.
Wow.
So that's why it's on your face.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. I think we might have to do another interview with you, even in my upcoming podcast, because I'm fascinated by it, and
it's a huge privilege.
Yeah. And I love to learn.
Absolutely.
So thank you for sharing that. And you know what I love about your culture in particular is it's like you wear, they say, I wear who I am on my sleeve, and I can see you've got ink on your sleeve, but it's kind of like, well, this is who I am. Like, let me reveal who I am. And there's no hiding.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Like, so I have a lot of questions, but I think it would be great to ask you some of those in another session and be educated, because, as I said, I love culture and I love to learn. So thank you, Diane. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you for asking.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right, so for those of you just joining, welcome to Tea with Tanja Lee. It is your regular cup of consciousness. It is where we come together to look at loose leaf lessons and fully brewed blessings. Cheers, my love. Really, I'm here to provide free leading life and business coaching. Now, Diane is tuning in from New Zealand. Her question this morning is, how do I believe in myself again professionally, especially after being bullied? Now, you mentioned before your profession was psychotherapy. Is that your profession that you're speaking of now?
Yes, I am.
Okay, great.
Yes,
and are you still working now?
Only with a few clients, but those that just couldn't connect with another therapist.
Okay,
and
great.
So, being truthful and transparent with them and saying I don't work for an agency, but I would, love to reconnect. And we've been doing some really great work.
Yeah.
And which, and as you know, I've been doing a gut cleanse as well. So it's really come to a space where I feel like I've healed. Because I would say through that period, for want of a better word, I would have had burnout.
Right.
That definitely impacted negatively on me, because it was from my it was from my boss.
Okay. Yeah.
And so then
all right.
the pressures of being bullied there, I had a lot of my family that was dealing with PTSD, so supporting them. So there was a lot on my shoulders, but rather than being compassionate, it was just anger and bullying. So that's when I pulled away and thought I really need to go to a place where I can heal.
Yeah.
And,
well, good that you put yourself
get back into the work that I love.
Yeah, good that you put yourself on the top of the food chain. That's the first step. Like a lot of people will, because many of us, regardless of our experiences, I've never met a person that doesn't feel like they're not good enough. And so for some people, they will stay in a situation, whether it's a relationship or a working relationship, where they will just be bullied because they don't have. I was actually talking to a friend about this yesterday. I was bullied all through primary school and high school, and I did not speak up for myself. I didn't have a voice. I'm going to be talking about this on the podcast. I didn't love myself. I was very insecure. Different story now, right?
Yes.
So what I would love to do with you is, a couple of things. So first of all, again, thanks for being willing to be coached live here on Instagram and Facebook.
Thank you.
You're welcome. B, I reckon you would be a great psychotherapist, because from what I know of you, you have a huge heart and it's unbelievable capacity to be with another, whether it be their light or their shadow, and not make them wrong for anything, but just hold sacred space for transformation. That's who I already know you to be.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. And
turning off my boiling water.
Yeah, awesome. So what I'm going to ask you to do, Diane, we're going to do some rapid fire coaching. And why I mean rapid fire is because we do have a small window of time to support you in having a breakthrough, and obviously appreciate everyone that's tuning in live to be part of this. So what my invitation is, when I ask you some questions, my love, if you wouldn't mind just kind of giving the answer to me as succinctly and bullet point as you can, just so we can get as much traction as possible. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Amazing.
It makes perfect sense.
Thank you, my love. Yeah. All right. So you're a psychotherapist, and I'm also sorry and want to acknowledge your comment about your family going through PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. Yes. PTSD, yes. Yeah. And whatever was the source and cause of that, I send my love and blessings to you and your family as well.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. They're doing really well now, Tanja. So
great. Here's to that.
Blessed that they've moved through it.
Yeah. Here's to that.
Absolutely. Cheers to that.
Thank you, Sean. Saying you're in good hands. Tanja is world-class coach. Sean, I love you too, my friend. You're a good egg.
Thank you, Sean.
Okay. So if you can just take us back to what happened, and just try to keep it, as I said, as succinct as possible. So you're at work and your boss said or did what?
Yeah, so it was a progressive thing, but basically what had happened was she had a silent partner. The silent partner lost her job, so then came in as not a silent partner.
Right.
She came from a prison workplace, so that's how she wanted to run this psychotherapy agency. And
right.
as you can imagine, neither worked.
Yeah.
And so
and sorry, can I just ask, just for clarity, and I'm sorry to cut you off, and that may happen if there is a bit of a delay, so I'm not
absolutely.
Being rude. If I cut you off, it's just because there may be a delay, or I may need to
absolutely.
keep it moving. Okay, just so you know.
No worries.
Did she say?
And so from there, oh, sorry,
so
yes.
My question is, did this lady, and you don't have to say names, of course, but did this lady who was the silent partner, who then decided not to be, who came into the workplace, who had a prison background, did she literally say, I'm going to integrate some of the values or principles or code of conduct in how we do things, or was it just her behavior that did it?
Yeah, no, she just came in and did what she
did. Okay.
She overpowered all of us,
got
including my boss.
Okay, got it. Yep. All right. So she came in and she was doing it her way. And then what happened? So it was a progressive thing, but what was the moment, the last final straw bullying that you went, I'm out?
So then my boss became bullied by her.
Yep.
And because I have an overbearing mother who can very much be a bully. And so I had grown up with that.
Yeah.
And through my training as a psychotherapist, I have put a lot of boundaries in place with my mother.
Great.
And so therefore, that's what I started to do at work as well.
Got it.
Was put those boundaries in place to say, I'm sorry, I don't work like that.
Yep.
Or she would want me to sometimes be in the office, whereas we offered a service where we would go to the home because a lot of our people were poor.
Yep.
And didn't have cars or couldn't afford to come to us. So that was a service that we offered. And so she started to rule how I worked.
Uh-huh.
I mean, sometimes we call them whaiora, which is clients. It means a person seeking health and well-being.
Nice. Yeah.
So I love that word.
Yes.
So I would sometimes take them to the sea, or
so I'm going to, Diane, sorry, my love,
maunga.
I'm going to interrupt. I need you to get back to the question, honey. Okay.
Sorry.
That's okay. You're beautiful. It's all good. What was the final straw of the bullying that had you drop out or leave? Like, go, this is my boundary. This is my edge.
Yeah. So she said to me that I was supposed to work 1 week on call and you get more money. The girl that was supposed to do the other week couldn't. So I did the 2 weeks.
Yep.
She felt like I didn't deserve that. And
how do you know?
Said, I'm only going to pay you for a week.
Okay, how do you know she felt that you didn't deserve it?
She said it to me.
So what were her words, my love?
Okay, she said, I only wanted you to have 1 week. It doesn't matter that she couldn't do the other week. I'm only going to pay you for 1 week.
Got it.
I don't feel like you deserve both. Yeah.
Right, and that they were her words. I don't feel like you deserve both. Okay. Yet you worked both weeks.
Absolutely, yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what happened was progressive bullying experience for you. What happened was a silent partner came in, and as a not so silent partner anymore, her background was working in a prison, and you noticed different ways of being that were not in tune with your usual ways of being. So that was a jolt to the system. That was a change.
Absolutely, because I had worked there for 18 months.
Yeah.
And that's how we had always worked. And
got it.
Got great results through doing that. So
sure. Yeah, no, I'm sure you did. And so then progressive comments, progressive things, and then on this particular occasion, you were meant to work 1 week on call. Another lady was meant to work another week. She couldn't work that week, so you worked that week. Then this not so silent anymore partner was like, well, I'm only going to pay you for this week. I didn't want you to work that week, and that's just what's happening, and I don't believe you deserve to be paid for both. So that's what happened.
Yeah.
What happened after that?
So then she then pressured the boss that I'd always had to have a talk to me.
Yep.
Because I said that, that this isn't on. I worked that.
And just so I'm clear, my love,
but she didn't pay it.
Just so I'm clear, when the other lady that was meant to work didn't work, what is the process? Like, because one of your bosses is saying, I only want you to do this week on call. This other lady didn't work. So who makes the decision as to what team member works that week? Whose call is that?
So it was my boss who was away. So
okay, so your original boss,
she would probably usually work it. Yeah,
okay, so your original boss would have done it herself. She's away. Yeah. And did anyone ask her? Was there any communication? I know I'm asking you a lot of questions, but you're going to find I'm going to get to the root cause, right? So you need to. So the one lady B who came in with the prison experience, she said, I only want you to work this week on call. You had another psychotherapist that was to do the second week. She couldn't for whatever reason. Your original boss is away. So what is the process? So what would the process usually be for that second shift to be filled and approved?
I think her usual processes are, if she can't work, lady B, my original boss, she would just usually work it.
Okay, so got it. And she's away.
I suppose no other process.
Okay, so she's away. Are you the only resource?
Yes. Well, there were some others, but quite a few were students or had just come out of training.
Got it.
So at the time, I was the manager.
Got it.
And so before that, I was 2IC. So I was always her right hand.
Right hand woman.
So
I got it. Okay.
I didn't think that there was anything untoward me working the 2 weeks.
Understood. And Lady B, who from my distinction is the prison experience. Lady A is your original boss. A for original. Okay. Just so we can clarify, right? You're doing great, by the way.
Yeah.
Did she say to you before you just volunteered yourself because the other lady couldn't do it, your lady A's away, and the other people that could were students, and that would be a lesser quality service to your clients, or that beautiful name that means those seeking health and well-being? Did Lady B say to you before you went in to do the shift, I don't want you to do it, I just want you to do the first week?
See, I had rung her and said, this is what I'm going to do because she can't do it.
Okay.
And there's nobody else to do it.
Okay, great.
She said that she would ring Lady A.
Yes.
And then she never got back to me.
Okay.
So I just did it.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
Yeah.
Excellent. So so this is the first distinction I want to share with you, right? Because my intention is to give you access to get back in your power. Because when Diane's in her power, the world shifts. When Diane's not in her power, the world can't shift as well as it can when she's in her power, because you're a powerhouse, right? Fueled with love. Okay. Now, I know you want that for yourself. However, excuse me, I have a runny nose and no tissues. So I'm just going to do the old-fashioned way. Now,
here we go.
Thank you, my love. So we want to look at, so the reason, my friends, everyone watching here on Facebook and Instagram, one of the reasons we really get disempowered is when something happens and we make it mean something. Okay. And so what I'm distilling down is what happened, what did we make it mean? Now, where did the breakdowns occur? So we can hear breakdown number one is Lady B is saying, I only want you to do a week. Lady A's away. The team member's gone. The others are students. You're putting your hand up. And Lady B's going, I'm going to ring Lady A just to confirm it, and I'll come back to you. She never did. You went, we need to be of service. You jumped in. Okay. Now, all honorable or great. However, it's going to cause a breakdown in connection and communication because you went against her words, but she also didn't come back to you. Now, at any point before you did that shift, and this is not about blame or right or wrong, it's just where was the breakdown, and how can we get back in our power? When she didn't get back to you, did you follow up with her? Did you say, hey, like this shift starts tomorrow. I haven't heard back from you. I'm available to do it. Did you follow up with her?
I texted both of them,
Okay.
A and B.
And what happened?
I heard back from A.
Yes.
And she said, sure.
Sure, do it.
She said, sure.
Great. Yeah. And B?
Yeah. And thank you.
Great. Beautiful.
B
yes.
never got back to me.
Okay, got it. Okay, excellent. So B never got back to you. Now, if you are just tuning in, my friends, and you're like, what are they talking about? I am doing live leading life and business coaching online with Diane in New Zealand, and we are unpacking. Her question is, how do I get my belief in myself back professionally because I was bullied, right? So that's a little wrap of where we're at. Okay, so you do the week. You do the work. What was the next interaction with this lady, my love? Where did it then? So when did she go to, well, you said, well, I've done the week and I've done that week. And she's like, well, I only wanted you to do week 1 and I didn't want you to do week 2. So I'm only going to pay you for the first week. And I don't believe you deserve, you're saying that's what she said. I don't believe that you deserve to get paid for the 2 weeks. Now, how long after you worked that week did she say that to you?
It was at least 2 weeks, and it wasn't after we had been paid that I was like, oh, I only got paid for 1 week.
Okay, got it.
And yeah,
got it.
And that's when I rang her and asked her, oh, I think there's been
a mistake,
a miscalculation in my pay.
Got it. And she said what she said, yeah? And then
she said, I need to meet with you.
Got it. Excellent.
So she wanted to see me face to face.
Excellent. Yeah. And then that happened?
And then that happened, and she actually was abusive.
And define abusive. Define abusive.
She said things about my character. I'm trying to think how it was put. Like I gotten too big for my boots.
And these were actual words that she said to you? You're getting too big for your boots?
Yeah, like you're getting too big for your boots. You think that you can just run this place.
Right.
That's not what I said. I never got back to you. And I said to her, but Lady A did.
Yeah.
And she said, yes, and thank you. She said, I've asked for people to have less home visits. You still do your normal home visits. So when I had answers for everything and put my life, like you can't insult my character, that's not on. I'm not going to have that. I'm going to leave the meeting. By this point, I was crying as well because it really did hurt me. And I left. I just said, stop. I'm not going to be yelled at. This isn't good enough. From now on, if you want to have a conversation with me, I want somebody else here.
Okay. And then did you leave? Did you leave?
The conversation.
And you left, and that was it. And how long ago was that?
So then Lady A had a meeting with me, which I had called. And then I had said to her, because Lady A was thinking of leaving, and because I was 2IC, she wanted me to have the manager position. And I said, I just can't work with somebody who is such a bully. And this isn't what I signed up for.
Gotcha.
Ever since she's been here.
Okay.
So then,
and so my question is, how long ago? How long ago?
I didn't want to be a manager. Then she didn't know if there would be a position for me.
Gotcha. Lady B said that.
Lady A.
Got it. And how long ago was that, my love?
How long ago was it? 2 years ago.
2 years ago. Okay. So have you been feeling a loss of power and lacking belief in yourself professionally for the last 2 years?
So from there, I went to another place.
So Diane, stick with me.
Yeah.
The question is, since then, so you've worked at other places, I get that. And again, the purpose of time, I just want you to stick with me. You're doing great. Have you felt a loss of power and lack of belief in yourself for the last 2 years to varying degrees? Has that been your reality?
Yes.
Got it.
Yes.
Great. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. All right. So what I'm curious about, and I appreciate there's going to be a lot more to it and a lot more in the last 2 years, but for the purpose of a transformation here and now, what I'm curious is what happened is you were working in a job. Sounds like you had a really great relationship with Lady A. Lady B comes in. Different way of working, not necessarily good or bad or right or wrong, just different, and a culture shift to what you were all used to, both you and Lady A by the sound of it. After you noticed some different ways of being that just kind of didn't feel in alignment with your values and the values of how things were run. So that was a bit off-putting. Yes. Then we get to this scenario of you're working for a week. There was another week of work. This lady couldn't do it. Others are students. Lady A is away. Lady B saying, I don't want you to do it. You're like, someone needs to do it. These clients need some support. I'm experienced. I'm available. I've made it like I'm clear to do it. No response. You follow up with text to both. Lady A goes, yes, sure, thank you. You're like, all clear in, let me be of service. Lady B comes in and doesn't say anything, right? Then 2 weeks later, you get your pay. You get paid for 1 week, not a second week. You ring Lady B. She's like, and the breakdown begins. Now, tell me, all of that is what happened. She spoke to you the way she spoke to you the way she spoke to you in the face-to-face meeting. She made comments on your personal character. She told you she didn't believe that you deserved that second week of pay, even though you did it, right? So I'm curious, and I want you to really take a look. Lady B did everything that Lady B did. And what I want you to take a look at in this moment, Diane, even if you have to close your eyes and connect to your heart to disengage and connect to your truth, that's what happened. What did you make all of that mean about yourself? What did you decide about yourself? What decision did you make? What belief did you form? And it usually looks like, yeah, great. And honey, you use those tissues that you have there for me. Yeah, because this is, you're doing great, my love. Oh, chills. So all of that happened. And listen, you've openly said you're not immune to bullying. You had a pretty overpowering mum. So this is, I'm telling you, this is an opportunity for you to have a breakthrough, not only in what happened 2 years ago, but what happened your whole life, okay? And I wouldn't be surprised if one of the reasons you're a psychotherapist is because you want people to be connected to love and possibility and high quality communication and connection. And that's why you're of service to other people, because you know what it's like to not have that experience. True?
Absolutely.
Okay, I get you.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I want you to connect with what's stirring here. What is the source of the emotion? We know what happened. And all of your feelings are justified. But my curiosity lies in, that's what happened. What did you make it mean about you? What did you decide about you? Take a look, and it will look something like, I am ... or I'm not ... So take a look and trust your intuition. I know you're highly intuitive. What surfaces?
That I'm not an honorable person.
Okay, so just let that land. You decided, I am not an honorable person. Do you think it's an honorable act to put your hand up to be of service to people that are in need in a second week of work when the next best experienced operator is unavailable and Lady A is away? Do you think that's an honorable thing?
Absolutely.
Me too, sister.
Absolutely.
Me too. But what I want you, so I can't coach Lady B, right? And I'm sure she'd probably have many stories to tell based on her experience and working in prisons and the hardening of her arteries, potentially. I don't know. I don't want to make stuff up. But I'm working with you right
Absolutely.
now, right? You the brave heart. So what I want you to try on in the fitting room of life is what happened was this lady said and did what she said and did. And you decided, I am not an honorable person. And that decision, Diane, is not filed in that face-to-face meeting with Lady B. That decision is not only present here for you, that decision gets filed in your future. And that is the source of your disempoweredness. That is your belief system. So when you create a belief that's disempowered of I am not an honorable person, then do you reckon you're going to have the mojo and inspiration and motivation to courageously step into opportunities to be of service and make a difference and live your heart out loud? No.
No.
Because you believe you're not an honorable person. So let me ask you, Diane, and thanks for your vulnerability and courage. Can everyone watching on Facebook and Instagram, many of you are already giving some, you're amazing, Diane. You've got lovely comments coming here, sending you love and compassion, beautiful Diane. You've got big hugs, you know, you've got lots of gorgeous love, right? So you are loved. Now, what have been the impacts on you physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually when you decided, when what happened over a period of time, yet you decided, I am not an honorable person? In the last 2 years, Diane, what have been the physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual impacts on you, my love? And just go bullet point for me, just like boom, boom, boom.
So I put on at least 30 kgs.
30 kilos, okay? Because you know, by the way, people that put on weight, and that's a lot of weight, right? No judgment here, but 30 Ks, that's half a human being, okay? Like, honestly.
I'm nearly down to my original weight.
Boom shakalaka to you. But you consider that is creating padding between you and the world. Okay? Right. Often what happens when we put on weight, we are suppressing the emotion, and we are protecting ourselves, and we are creating padding from us in the world. That's one likely kind of unconscious situation. But you put on 30 kilos. Absolutely. Okay, so that's a big physical impact.
I emotionally, and so that I do have to add that I went to my next workplace that I had originally been in. Then I went to this other workplace because it was a really good opportunity.
Great.
Went back to my workplace, and there my daughter got sexually assaulted. And from that, I then put on all this weight. I had a breakdown.
Yeah. So did, and I'm so sorry to hear that. No one needs to go through that. And I appreciate this is close to your heart kind of stuff. So did you say you went to a new workplace and your daughter, she came with you and was sexually assaulted in the workplace?
No, it was a totally different situation.
Thing. Okay,
it wasn't a work situation. But as soon as she was sexually assaulted, I left work.
Got it. Let me ask you another question.
And that's
Sorry to interrupt you. When your daughter was sexually assaulted, and I'm very sorry to hear that, that's what happened. Did you make that mean anything about you? You as a person, you as a mother? Just take a look. When your daughter was sexually assaulted.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, what did you decide? Oof, okay, yes. What did you decide? By the way, if people wonder what that is, I'm clairvoyant, clairsentient, clairaudient. We all are. I feel energy. So when I, and we all do, by the way. So when I have this crazy thing that happens to me regularly, that is energy, and that's often truth. Okay, when someone speaks truth, or we're illuminating or bringing sediment of our subconscious to the forefront, my body feels it. Okay, so that's what that is. Now, you're doing great, Diane. So tell me, and you said, yes, absolutely. Now, your daughter, unfortunately, was sexually abused, and I said, and you're like, straight after that, I left, and that's when I stacked the weight on. That gives me an insight into you made a decision about yourself as a mother. What was that decision? Oh, I'm not laughing at that. I've just got a lot of energy going on. What did you decide, my love?
I can't even protect my children.
Yeah. So you're not an honorable person and you can't even protect your children. So then what did you decide? What was the next decision? I'm not honorable. I can't even protect my children. Because of that, my daughter was sexually assaulted. There's another decision you've made. So tune in, Diane. What have you decided about you and who you are? You're not honorable. You can't protect your children. What else did you decide?
I became a victim.
I'm a victim. Yeah, got it. Yeah.
Because this was the third traumatic thing. So
yeah, it was like
my husband, my son, my daughter.
Yep.
And so I just felt like I had a breakdown.
Yeah. And so you decided you went into panic
attacks.
Got it. So my love,
all of that stuff.
I hear you and I appreciate it, and I get it's big business that we're trying to uncover in a tight space of time. However, what I want you to feel into is you've had some things happen to you. And it is never what happens to you that defines who you are and creates the loss of power. It is what you decide as a result, right? You know that. You hear me say it all the time. You know that as a psychotherapist. And what we've uncovered is you decided, I am not an honorable person. So you've completely disconnected from your truth because you're a miracle on earth, but you decided I'm not honorable. So let me ask you, if you decide you're not honorable, what are you then? If you're not honorable, what's the flip side of pardon?
I'm dishonest.
Yeah, I'm dishonest. Yeah. Okay. So you're walking around on planet Earth. I'm not honorable. I'm dishonest. I can't even protect my own kids. And then you collapsed into I'm a victim, which means you don't have any power, because when we're in victim mode, or we're headed down to victim town, our modus operatus is we believe we're not good enough, and so we lack power. And when we're a victim, our biggest agenda and desire is to seek validation to prove that we are worthy. So did you go into a realm of you had breakdown and emotional despair and all of that? I get that. Did you and so I guess actually, for the purpose of time, let's just acknowledge that. So you went into, I'm not an honorable person, I'm dishonest, I can't even protect my own kids, I'm a victim, meaning life is happening to me and I'm at the mercy of external circumstances and I can't do anything about it. Okay, now bang on, gotcha. So give me some love, right? I'm right here with you and I appreciate your courage. Again, you've got some lovely emojis coming from people, certainly here on Instagram.
Thank you.
Now, the impact is you put on 30 kilos. You said you experienced panic attacks and anxiety, right? So that's the mental and emotional elements. And spiritually, you're definitely unfulfilled because you're not in alignment.
Out of my body.
You're out of your body. Correct.
I'm not even connected.
You're not even connected. Okay, got it. Now, if nothing changes, Diane, and you stay here, what is the inevitable future of you, my love? If nothing changes and you stay here disempowered, a victim of circumstance, telling yourself you're not honorable, you're dishonest, and because you can't even protect your kids, and because of that they're at risk.
I can't even imagine.
Well, just try.
That's not where I am at now.
It's not where you're at now. Okay, but you're saying to me, I need to get my belief back in myself professionally. Right, so there's still those beliefs are still there. Why are they there? Because your body's telling me you had an emotional reaction. You are there. You're not the 30 kilos.
I'm thinking, I am connected to my spirit now.
Great, awesome.
I have lost all this weight.
Yes,
I've done all of this work in here.
Yes, but the belief is still there.
I tell you, that belief is still there.
Yes.
So although those are supporting me now, if I carried on like that,
yes, great,
then I would stay in victim town.
Correct.
I would never work as a psychotherapist again.
Yes.
And that is my biggest fear.
Okay. Ooh, okay. What's your biggest fear? That you'll never be a psychotherapist again? Got it. Yes. Okay. Got it. So can you get that? You've done some work, sister. bravo to you, right? I really acknowledge you for that. You put on 30 kilos, you've lost most of it. You were having panic attacks and anxiety situations. You've done some work on yourself mentally to give yourself some space and grace to heal some of that stuff. Emotionally, you're in a better place and you're back in your body. So spiritually, you're aligned again. Yet you are still operating in the paradigm that you are not honorable, you are dishonest, you are a victim. You can't protect your kids, and therefore bad things are going to happen. And you're big, and so that's still your reality. Yet you feel better and you're a bit healthier and happier. Yet you still believe all those things. And so you're not going for opportunities. You're not a psychotherapist, and that is your biggest fear. So, my love, the impact is you are living your biggest fear. You might be aligned to yourself spiritually, but you're not a living, breathing expression of your heart out loud. You don't get to know yourself as a contribution to others, which lights you up. So you are unconsciously sabotaging the expression of your soul. Do you get that?
I get that.
Yeah, yeah. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just, does that work for you?
No.
No. Okay, got it.
No.
Now,
no.
We get what happened, we get what you decided, we get the impacts, we get you've done some work, yet you're still in the orientation of those disempowered beliefs. And what I want to offer you, my love, is this. If in your future, the future that's calling you to be the person you are today is, I'm dishonest, I'm not honorable, I can't protect my kids, I'm a victim, and I'm afraid to live my heart out loud and be the awesome psychotherapist I am, you will create that reality. You might even go and do stints at work, but I promise you, the true impact is you will manifest more lady bees, you will manifest more situations, you will attract and manifest more scenarios to be right about what you believe, because that's the way it works. That's the way energy works. Yet you will be a victim to it. You get that?
It's like through my body.
Yeah, yeah. Let that land, sister, and everyone else that's watching. This is how it works. The biggest thing that gets in our way is not what happens to us. And I say that with love and respect, because I work with people whose parents didn't read them a story, and people who were sexually molested by their own father, okay? And everything in between. And the one thing we all share is, despite what happens, whether it was simple or traumatic, we all decide we're not good enough, or some version of that. You're doing great work, my love. Now, my question is, let's start to shift the dial here. You get what you decided, we get the impacts, we get your inevitable future, we get your likely future if we don't shift these beliefs. And I know you're present to this right now because your whole physiology is responding. Who is responsible for the decisions of, I'm not honorable, I'm dishonest? Okay, great. And in this moment, right here, right now, at 8:54 Melbourne time on the 10th of July 2020, Diane, are you willing to take responsibility for not what happened, but what you decided as a result?
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Great. Now, what I want you to do is really feel that in the marrow of your bones. And my friends that are watching, until you take responsibility for the disempowered beliefs that you create as a result of what happens to you, and we all do it, you have no ability to respond. You cannot get out of victim town if you're not willing to take responsibility, because victims always have to blame others. And you can hear it in language. Now, I can't...
Absolutely. That's what I've done.
And that's what you've done.
I've absolutely blamed them.
Yeah.
I've absolutely blamed the person who assaulted my daughter. I've absolutely blamed everybody else.
That's right. And you blamed your mother for overbearing and overpowering you. Now, valid and justifiable. It just doesn't give you access to power.
No.
Right? So when I ask you, are you
because
willing...
in all the work I'm looking at, I'm going, oh, that's not a safe place.
That's right.
You know, I can't work there.
That's right.
Absolutely. So I see that because of that belief, I'm believing that many of the places that I want to work at aren't safe.
Well, exactly, my love, because whatever we believe, our ego or inner saboteur has 5 benefits, right? The first benefit is... I've got to be right. So your subconscious mind is looking for evidence to be right about that's not safe. She seems tricky. I don't like the feel of that. And so you're trying to make decisions stuck in this paradigm of a disempowered belief system. What we're going to do today, my love, because you know what happened, you know what you made it mean, you know the impacts, we've distinguished your inevitable future. We've now distinguished. And is this the first time, my love, that you've taken responsibility for being a victim and blaming everyone else? Is this the first time? Can we give it up for Diane? Give me some love. Bam, I love you. That's freaking awesome. Okay, because I promise you, sister, nothing will shift. Not a single thing will shift until you go, listen, I'm responsible. I'm not responsible for mum overpowering me. I'm not responsible for what my husband did there. Like, I didn't make all that stuff happen, but I am responsible for what I decide as a result. And today's the day that I take responsibility. I don't crack the whip. I don't blame myself. I don't chastise myself. I don't beat myself up or lay blame or fault. That's more disempoweredness. That's all just let me roll around in a big pile of poo. No, we just go, ooh, look at that. And you're doing the work. You're like, yeah, I get it. And and that's my inevitable future. Now, my love, the good news is, if you created those beliefs, you can create empowered beliefs, and nothing is going to shift. And it's all energy, as I said before, because your energy, you are waking up. And even though you're pretending, right, you're fine.
Yes.
You're pretending life's good. You're broadcasting energy of love and compassion and all of those, which is genuine. You are still weighted by everything else.
For me.
Today, exactly.
Yes, for me.
Exactly.
Yes.
So that's why
Absolutely.
you're feeling what you're feeling. So today's the day we just cut that reality and we create a whole new reality. Okay. So you ready to do that?
Absolutely.
Okay, awesome. So you're doing great work, by the way. And thanks to everyone that is holding space. Thank you, my love. Thanks for the privilege, right, to work with you. Now, are you willing? I mean, there's more work to be done here, and I don't want this to seem trivial, but however, breakthroughs can occur in a moment of declaration. So you get, and I get, can you feel in your physiology what you were doing and what you were creating? And you,
all this energy releasing.
Great. That's great, right?
Energy releasing.
Excellent. Yeah. Now, Diane, if you were to create in this moment, and that's who we are, creative beings, if you could create a belief system that honored you, acknowledged you, inspired and empowered you to act differently and not to fix the past, we're talking to create a whole new realm of being that drove you to take whole new actions that will inspire you to produce whole new results. What could you create for yourself? Said in another way, what's missing in your being that if it was there would really make a difference for you? Yes, you're right, Kylie. Less whip, more wand. So if you're not being, I'm dishonest, I'm not honorable, I'm a victim, I can't protect my kids, I'm living in fear.
Belief in myself.
Yeah, but what does that look, what does that sound like? So we know what you've been telling yourself. And we've got an hour and 50 minutes, 1 minute and 48 seconds. So,
okay,
just because the time is on for this live, because it's been nearly an hour, what is a new belief you can carve for yourself to create who you are in this moment, unencumbered by past beliefs? What is a belief that you could create in this moment? How would you like to experience yourself?
I am honest.
Okay, great.
I am worthy.
There you go. That's the one. Can you feel the energy of that one? I am worthy. Now, are you willing to go into the fitting room of life and fully step into that outfit today? And are you willing to be responsible for changing the script and actually saying, I am worthy? Great.
Absolutely.
Now, my love, great work. You are worthy. You're a miracle on earth. Absolutely. You're not what you decided you were. Now, if you were willing to be responsible for embodying this belief of you're worthy, tell us what action on real time in real earth not conceptual.
Mm-hmm.
If you were being, I am worthy. Okay, I'm starting afresh. I am worthy and I'm going to back myself. What action can you take to be a living, breathing example of this? And we got 28 seconds, my love.
I'm going to write a CV by Friday next week.
Awesome. Now, my friends, you know how this works. Fast game's a good game and a quick game. We've got 17 seconds. Diane, I'm going to reconnect with you on DM, my love. Who's going to be Diane's accountability buddy? You got 10 seconds. Put your hand up for it. Diane, by the way, before this goes, I love you. Okay? Great work, sister. Great work. Okay. Oh, sorry, I forgot that you're here. I didn't forget that you're here, but we are live on Instagram and Facebook. Now, Instagram's just finished. So great work, Diane. And if you're still here on Facebook watching, then thank you for tuning in. That's how it works. We have someone that's had some trauma, had some issues, and it's never what happens to us that defines us. It's what we decide as a result. And you just saw Diane. Unfortunately, you couldn't see her on Facebook, but she is there on Instagram. And we just saw her create a breakthrough for herself inside of what she's experienced. What a brave heart she is. Thanks for tuning in, my friends. I'll do a little post in this episode to let you know what the outcome was, but she created a new belief for herself. She's taken a decision, made a decision to create a CV by the end of next week, and we're going to find some accountability buddies to support her as she moves forward to fulfill her new belief that she's worthy. I hope you got some value out of that for yourself. I hope you got some insights for what would make a difference. And thank you so much for tuning in. Of course, I'm going to be here again doing what I do free for you Monday next week, which will be the 13th for Tea with Tanja Lee, which is all about an intentional Monday. So, my loves, please become a devotee. Fill your cup with love and go brew you. You're a miracle. It's time that we actually remembered that and lived it out loud. I love you. Go well. Have a ripper weekend.